All right, we're going to give you guys a little bonus breakdown. And this is Giancarlo. He's also part of Team XG. He's a head instructor here. And we said, or I said, that there was other ways of doing the stage and shooting the stage. And Giancarlo here shot the stage differently. And I'm going to show you that. So first, we're going to watch it, and then we'll break it down. So, as you guys could see, he shot it differently. Do I think it was as efficient? No, but that's the way Giancarlo stage planned it, and that's the way he shot it. He also had a mental error in the same exact spot that I did, and we'll watch that, but let's break it down. So immediately, you guys see that Giancarlo started on the side that had paper on it instead of coming over to steel and then taking paper and moving backwards. Giancarlo shot paper first, sidestepped, stayed moving, proceduraled out of bounds. I don't know if he got the procedural because I don't have Giancarlo's scores in front of me. But needless to say, that is a procedural because the last shot on steel, his foot was out of bounds. Came in, reloaded. He did a really good job right here, doing what he needed to do. Index finger on the front of the face of the mag, visually looking at his magwell, the magwell, putting the mag in, and then eyes to target, gun ready. As he was still moving, came to a stop, took his shots, did what he needed to do. So overall, Giancarlo, doing what he did, and he was off to an extremely hot start. And then the stage kind of fell apart on the second half. Like I said, the mental game is extremely difficult. So came in, and this was originally my stage plan. Exactly how Giancarlo shot this was to do exactly this, come in, but not take the makeup shot and have to reload while standing still. So as you can see, he's off to the races and hustling, came in, did what he needed to do, but realized he overshot his
Overran.
sector of
Yeah.
fire,
Yeah, he
overran.
overran.
And then, as you see, had to come back to finish the targets that initially I could have shot from probably here on the stage. And he made the same error just in a different spot. So, it just goes to show you that you don't have to have, everybody doesn't have to have the same stage plan. Whatever stage plan you want to do, you should stick to it. But yes, there is a fastest way to shoot a stage, but it doesn't have to be the same way for everybody. And it's just apparent. I wish I had Giancarlo stats in front of me, but we don't. I don't. But even Joe can attest to shooting stages just like I'm also pretty sure that Mark shot this stage. Another one of the members of NXG also shot this stage differently than all of us, the rest of us. And it just goes to show that you don't need to shoot the stage the same way or the same as everybody else to have a good hit factor. You want to add anything, Joe?
Yeah, actually right here.
Okay.
So something that I would have done differently here is, so he already banged out after his reload. He already shot 4 shots there. Coming into this, he shot 2 other targets, so that's 4 more. He's at 8 shots. So instead of trying to just swing, because he's shooting at the double, the one that Andrew failed to engage, instead of proceeding with his shot with his current magazine, I would have swapped here. Because you could finish off the rest of the stage with that magazine. And then, like we said before, too, he overran here, but by a bigger margin than Andrew did. This is like, he overstepped his sector of fire by like 3 steps. So, yeah, that was the only thing that I would do different.
And
Assuming,
not step out either.
yeah, I mean, stepping out, we don't know if he got called for that. Like Andrew said, we would need his stats for it. But going into this part too, like you see how Andrew shot this differently. Me personally, I agree with Andrew's method because the way I look at it is look at it as if you're driving a car, right? Giancarlo's method is essentially a 3-point turn to getting out of this corner, and Andrew's method is more of just doing a one in motion U-turn. So, like when he starts, he gets sucked in right to the red line. When
Yeah.
in reality, he could have just threw the mag in, turned, and shot both of these targets and proceeded with his method. But he's adding time by getting sucked into this window.
That's
Um,
actually a good point. Sorry to interrupt, but that's actually a very valid point. Giancarlo could have right off the table. He could have just turned right, shot the paper, and then he could have took the sidestep. He could have sidestepped in front of the table to shoot the steal. Actually, I don't think you could have been shot this target
no, he
from.
still has to go to that corner, but the initial part of going into this window. I mean, this angle from where it's filmed is a little weird, but if you were in line with him, I'm sure instead of taking 2.5 to 3 steps into that window, he could have just threw the mag in, and as he's throwing the mag in, he could have taken a half step back, and you probably could have seen both of these targets from the
Yeah,
table.
I agree. He could have
So
actually shot from right here, or actually he's putting the mag in the gun. And said he got sucked into the corner right there, which that's a mental error. That's not a shooting error. That has nothing to do with your shooting ability. That is a mental part of the game, and that is a very valid point. To be honest with you, I didn't even see that the first time I watched this, and I've watched all these videos numerous amount of times, and I completely failed to pick that up. So that is very good, and that's a very valid point.
And then yeah, continuing, like let the video roll. He like waterfalls this steal perfect, but like we said, to our eyes watching this back 100 times, he does have a procedural. It doesn't even look like this RO is looking at his feet.
Yeah,
Um,
just to note, guys, on a procedural, ROs will take their pointer finger and point down at your procedural and hold. So if you have 5 procedurals, by the end of the stage, he'll have 5 fingers pointing down, and that's a procedural, and that's how you know how many procedurals you have. You look at the RO's fingers when they're, after you're done shooting the stage. So, and it doesn't look like he caught it. That doesn't mean that he didn't catch it, because there is somebody holding the iPad as well that has eyes on it. But it usually is up to the RO to, catch your procedurals.
yeah, he doesn't put a finger down. But yeah, so right here, boom, 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 right? Shoots these next two. Let it play from there. Like, so his reload's in, and this is what I was talking about. When he comes in here, he shoots 4.
So
So let it.
for me, I'm already backing up here. I'm not. I'm reloading and turning. Giancarlo's approach was turn, reload, all at the same uh, point of direction. So his direction, his hips are facing already to the next target. Where I I was backstepping and then rotated as I was doing my reload at the same time. Giancarlo's approach was different.
All right, so right there, stop it. So before those last 2 shots, that's where I would have reloaded.
Right.
Because, yeah, well, like after he shoots that target to the far left corner, reload. You already shot 8 shots. So at this point, he's going to engage a double target, and since he topped off, he has 11 rounds. So he's going to engage 2 targets next to each other with only 3 rounds. That's why he stops to reload here.
True. And although we try not to reload stationary, I don't think I remember on this stage he was either reload stationary where he is currently, or reload stationary at the end of the stage, and you kind of got to pick your poison. Unfortunately, that's the way Lipsa stages are designed. They are designed in a way to kill your momentum, and it's just unfortunate they did do that because of the age disparity at Lipsa. The old guys don't got wheels like the younger guys, so the younger guys gotta, have their momentum killed in some way or another. And it's just unfortunate that they do it that way, but you gotta, I guess, have a fair game so everybody gets to have fun. But needless to say, it was either reload stationary here or reload stationary all the way on the far right. And Giancarlo chose to do it on the far right. And that's I think that's all we have for you guys this week. Next week we're going to break down some more stages, probably from the Long Island Championship. I want to show you guys some stage breakdowns from when I first started shooting to like I'll show you guys my first stage ever and then show you like a stage that I
from a
shot.
most recent.
Yeah, like a most recent, probably like a 90% clip. And I'll show you the
Next
difference.
next week will be a comparison video,
But that's all
with
we have for you
probably.
guys this week. And you have anything else, Joe? Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, no, I like that idea for next week. We'll do a comparison video from like when you started 2 years ago to now for competition.
All right, guys. So that's it. That's all we're going to give you guys for this week. And we'll see you guys next week.